You know, we're all dreaming of something. So why not make those dreams a reality?
A new van with sliding doors.
A new house with more than one bathroom.
Oh, and heated seats.
Or maybe even just some money to add a new bathroom to this house.
A remote starter.
No matter what you've been dreaming of lately, Dow Chemical Employees Credit Union has a loan for you. With great rates, fast approvals, and a potential year-end loan interest rebate via our member giveback, DCECU can help make your dreams come true. Visit dcecu.org/borrow for more details. Membership eligibility required. Loans subject to approval based on creditworthiness of applicants and collateral conditions if applicable. Other limitations may apply. While member giveback rebates and rewards occur with great regularity, this credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member giveback consideration. Some limitations apply. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Partly sunny for today. Highs will top out near 41 degrees. Wind south-southwesterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, chance for rain showers before midnight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. Temperatures hold steady or rise in the region. Winds west-southwest 5 to 15. Higher gusts remain possible. Thursday, partial sunshine is possible at times. Highs get close to 50. West-southwest winds will be breezy, 10 to 20. Higher gusts still possible. And then lows fall back to 29 on Thursday night. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 32.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Wednesday morning, a lot to talk about this morning. Unfortunately, I won't be able to hear what you have to say verbally, that is by phone, because our system is still, we're making progress. we can now dial in and dial out, but it's choppy. It's certainly not airable. Let's put it that way. So you'll have to put up with me talking to you. However, if you wish to communicate your thoughts on a particular topic, there are two ways I'm going to encourage you to do it. The one way is through my email, artlewis@wsgw.com, and that's all one word, artlewis@wsgw.com, and we will try and include your comments. Or if you are watching us on twitch.tv, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, on the right side, there is a comment box where you can communicate with me. And I have that screen open too, so that I can see what you have to say. Later on this hour, around 9:30, we are expecting to talk to Saginaw City Manager Tim Morales, one of our regular visits with Tim. So we'll look forward to doing that. He hopefully will be calling in on the video, not on the phone. We live in this high-tech world. We're surrounded by tech. Monday was one of the worst tech days for all of us here at the radio station, and in my case, even worse. It was like the perfect storm. Monday, I got up in the morning, went into my home studio, my Saginaw Spirit home studio, only to find out my computer would not connect with the internet. And consequently, I really didn't have a good way to communicate and do anything. I probably could have been on the air, but I wouldn't have been able to do much because my air system is separate from my computer. So the computer had to go to the computer doctor to get fixed, which it did. I now have it back, got it back yesterday. At the same time, here at the radio station, our phone system, which is computer controlled, the server or whatever the device is, there's more than one device, I think, controls our phone system, a complicated phone system. It went on the fritz. We had no phones. You couldn't call in. You couldn't call out. Or you could get a dial tone. You couldn't do anything. Nobody could call in. And when you're running a talk station, that makes life interesting. to say the least, that makes life interesting. So we have come up with ways to do certain things. For example, later on this morning after the focus program, we'll talk to Steve Anderson at Baird & Company. And the way we do that is we have Steve call a cell phone, turn on the speaker, hold the speaker up to the microphone so that Steve can speak and he can hear what I have to say. It works. However, we will not be doing that for general conversation on the radio show from listeners. I have absolutely no intent of giving out my cell phone number on the air. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Sorry, folks, but that's one that we will keep to ourselves. There are a number of things to talk about this morning. I think we probably have to start by acknowledging the tragedy that happened in Michigan yesterday with the shooting, the death of 3 students, and the injuring of 6 others by a young man, apparently a student at the school, from what the media reports tell us so far, not cooperating with authorities at all, has requested an attorney and has said nothing else. It's You know, we were just talking about this at a meeting this morning. You can have the best laid plans to try and mitigate these kinds of situations. But when it comes down to it, how do you stop one loose target like that? Loose, how do you do it? Can you really prevent active shooters? And this incident in Oakland County, apparently, from what they're saying so far, and it's early in the investigation, but so far, there's been no indication that there were warning signs. And this Oxford High School in suburban Detroit, by all accounts, was, fairly nice school, normal. You hear the parents say, well, I didn't think it could happen here. And guess what? How in the world do we ever prepare for that? Now, I'll tell you this, Saginaw County is as prepared as anywhere in the nation. That's not to say we're not vulnerable. Of course we are. But we are blessed with a company here called Critical Incident Management Systems, run by a former state police officer by the name of Tom Minesberg, who has contracts with the ISD and every school district in the county and elsewhere in Michigan. And he does tabletop exercises, full-size exercises, is constantly updating policies with school systems. And we are as prepared in Saginaw County as anyone can be. But is it foolproof? No. No such thing. No such thing to stop that one rogue, renegade person who thinks that somehow the world's wronged them and that their answer is to pick up a gun and start shooting. It's just a sad commentary. And here we are. Another one happens. And unfortunately, and we all know this, it won't be the last. You learn from it. Maybe you pick up some pointers that you can use the next time to better spot someone before they take action. But the reality is, nothing is totally secure. It's an impossibility. Unless, of course, you want to, turn schools into prisons. But the bottom line is, it's very, very difficult to prevent these things. All we can do is hopefully learn from this one to try and prevent the next one. So to the folks in Oxford, the Oxford High School, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And to those that lost their lives Tate Myers, 16. Hannah St. Juliana, 14. 17-year-old Madison Baldwin. They will never get to enjoy the life promised them growing up. 8 people were injured, including a teacher and another girl, 14, who was in critical condition on a ventilator. Let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Take a break, and we will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, brought to you, by the way, by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call, 989-295-7713. Let her go to work for you. And while you're at it, stop into the Point, M46 and M47, the home of Pinnacle Realty, but it's also the home of Cafe 476, with delicious soups at this time of year and beverages and foods. You'll enjoy it, Cafe 476. And then say hi to Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. Back after these notes.
The YMCA of Saginaw is where Michael discovered he still has game and rediscovered his passion for volunteerism. It's also where he reconnected with old friends, made new ones, and trained for his first 5K run. The Y is a vital part in your quest to connect and build a stronger spirit, mind, and body. This season, the YMCA is transforming lives. Join the Saginaw YMCA today, and new members experience no membership dues till January. Stay a year, and they'll reward you with 3 free months. The Y, forever here for you.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's a first look at how the job market held up in November ahead of the Labor Department's monthly employment report on Friday. Payroll processing company ADP says private employers created 534,000 new jobs last month. That is a stronger report than economists were predicting. ExxonMobil says it will continue to spend conservatively for the next 5 years because the outlook for oil and gas demand is murky. The company slashed its spending last year as COVID waves cut into demand. Carlos Tavares, chief executive of Jeep's parent company Stellantis, says stepping up the transition to electric vehicles will result in costs beyond the limits of what the auto industry can sustain. He says it could increase the cost of a vehicle by 50%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
This year, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is honoring heroes with 200 mortgage-free homes, a never-forget walk, more than 500 miles through 6 states in 42 days, culminating at Ground Zero on 9/11, Towers of Light tributes, a ceremony to read names aloud for those lost to 9/11 illness, and names of all lost in the War on Terror are being read on Veterans Day. Donate $11 a month at t2t.org.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll, smartphones in the bathroom. Numerous surveys conducted to ask how and when people use smartphones. Responses show people use smartphones, these social media aspects, playing games, making phone calls even sometimes, using a smartphone to do that. And we'll do it while driving, while walking, during weddings, during funerals, and yes, while in the bathroom. Recent surveys showing 90% of people say they do use smartphones in the bathroom, even when on the toilet. Our poll question for you. Do you use your smartphone in the bathroom? Never, rarely, sometimes, or often. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find a poll box, and make your vote that way. There are people in this building that I know, because if I hear them, I will intentionally make noises, hoping that it would somehow bother them, but no, it never seems to. They just keep on talking.
Time to flush, Charlie?
Yes, exactly.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
That is a very, very difficult job.
we will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
I'm back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Wednesday morning, midweek, and the 1st of December, officially today, Dorothy Zender's 100th birthday. I mentioned it a couple of days ago, looking ahead, but today is the day. Happy birthday to a wonderful, wonderful human being, Dorothy Zender, at 100, still several times a week, drives herself to work, goes into the kitchen at the Bavarian Inn to make sure everything is being done the way it should be done. And it keeps her going. It's purpose. I had an interview. I was interviewed by Delta College TV a while back for a show they have called 50 Plus. It's a senior show, you know, and me being in my upper 70s. They asked why I do what I do. And I think my answer probably would be the same or close to the same as Dorothy's. It's purpose. I have to have purpose. If I were sitting home doing nothing, I would be absolutely bored to tears. But doing what I do for a living is purpose. Keeps me going. Wanting to get up every morning and do it. Even through the tough technical times we're having right now. But the bottom line is, I enjoy it. I love it. Can't think of anything I'd rather do. And I think if you were to question Dorothy Zender, she would tell you the same thing. She came up not knowing any other way but hard work. It is part of her family's DNA, if you will, and gives her purpose. And so when she gets up in the morning and decides she's going to go into the Bavarian Inn and supervise the kitchen for a period of time, it's purpose. And the good Lord's seen fit to give her the physical capability to do it and the mental capability to do it. Nothing wrong with her mind. More power to her. All right. We're going to turn our attention now to the city of Saginaw. And we say good morning to the city manager of the city of Saginaw. We say good morning to Tim Morales. Tim, if I can get you turned on here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. Thanks. Thanks for joining us this morning. I seem to start these conversations with all public officials the same way in recent years. Where are we with the ARPA money? It seems to be on the forefront of everybody's mind how we're going to spend this pot full of money.
Yeah, so we're at the city. We're getting input still. I know there's been a few meetings and the council members have had sessions here at City Hall. City Hall open houses where we've talked to people. We have new surveys out, but we're really trying to, I think, move forward, and we've been taking proposals submitted to the city manager's office, and I think we will probably get to a point where council starts hearing some of those presentations sometime after the new year.
You have to be a little careful with some of these things that you don't fund something today that you won't be able to fund tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the issue of sustainability is really important because if they're good programs, we want to make sure that they're there beyond this ARPA session. And I think if you talk to most public officials, they don't think there's going to be future funding like this coming every few years. So at the end of the period, when you're done funding it, you have a great program. How is it going to be continued? I think that's something that should be considered.
It almost has to be. I can remember a number of years ago, the federal government provided funds to increase the size of police departments, but those monies were only good for like 2 years, and then they ran out, and now you're stuck with officers you can't afford.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to avoid that, don't you?
Yeah, those were, they were called COPS grants, and the ones the city received one that was a 5-year period, 4-year funding period, and the city is responsible for year 5. Saginaw couldn't afford that. So we did have the grant, but we couldn't continue to fund those officers even in that 5th year. So that's something you have to be careful with. If it's a program, people like it. And the public generally doesn't like to hear, hey, we can't do it because we can't afford it anymore. So I think it's incumbent upon us and the organizations to think about how do you continue this in the future.
Yeah. That's one of the great paradoxes. The citizens don't want to lose a program they like. At the same time, they don't want to take their hand out of their pocket with money in it. You got to pay for it if you want it. You can't have your hand up and say, grease my palm, and the other hand tightly fisted in your pocket and not take any money out. It has to work both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, if it's something that is, and we've seen that throughout Saginaw County, I think. We have a Parks Millage, we have a Dow Millage, we have a Zoo Millage. People have been supportive of those kind of projects. And I think if you do have a directed project or directed service, most people are supportive of funding that. However, when you add a whole bunch of new programs that maybe aren't as proven or aren't as recognized, it's not as common for people to want to pass a millage or to want to not have a tax cap or something like that to fund it. But we also have very good nonprofits in Saginaw, and we have a lot of grant opportunities. So if there's an organization that has a good plan and it can be proven, then I think it's something that could be continued into the future beyond ARPA.
Tim, hang on. I got to take a break and we'll come back. We're talking to the city manager of the city of Saginaw. He is Tim Morales on the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back after these notes.
In a world that's a little simpler comes the tale of Veltima fungicide. Swift, simple, and secure. It's a corn-growing story without all the drama. Unless you add totally epic music, really random sound effects, and a cool announcer guy. Get ready for the blockbuster yields of the summer with Veltima fungicide from BASF. Coming soon to a field near you. Always read and follow label directions.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special VA programs. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trusts? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Should I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend Attorney Jerry Rice's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Tuesday, December 7th at 2 o'clock in Saginaw at the Capocco Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or register online at jerryrifelawyer.com.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
This is CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Do you want to be a hero for the holidays? How about getting your loved one a new iPhone? That's right. Pure Talk has iPhone 12 starting at just $479 through the end of the year. And sure, they have 13s too. Switch to Pure Talk. Great nationwide 5G coverage. Yes, the same coverage as the big guys, but the average family saves over $800 a year. Now that's just smart. There's no need to overpay for Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Plus, with Pure Talk's 30-day risk-free guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. And like I said, the iPhone 12, just $479. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill50, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Plus, save on a new phone. That's pound 250, say Jill50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless. Some restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Bloom left circle. He's centered. Mangoni. He scored! Caleb Mangoni! Spirit wins 6-5 in overtime.
The Saginaw Spirit go for their 3rd straight win when they host the Flint Firebirds at the Dow Benz Center on Thursday night. Coverage begins at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. And great seats are still available for Thursday's game. Visit SaginawSpirit.com for more ticket information.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on WSGW. You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning, chatting with the city manager of the city of Saginaw, Tim Morales. So, Tim, as you look at the city right now, what are the critical needs?
Well, right now, I think
I don't hear you. Just a minute. There we go. Go ahead.
So for city services, I think one thing we really have to start thinking about more is our water system and infrastructure that we have there, because particularly, well, actually both on the water and wastewater side, that's going to be an important issue as we move forward in the city, improving the system and creating redundancies and just creating a more modern system that can last for the next 50 to 100 years.
Do you know if in the new infrastructure bill that was passed and signed by the president, whether you get any money to take care of those issues?
As far as we understand it at this point, that would be passed through from the state of Michigan. And it seems like it's going to be similar to how we ask for funding for the water system now through revolving funds and various grant funds. But we're fortunate that we have a great staff at the Saginaw water plant and our water and wastewater treatment plants and great administration. So we do have a number of projects that we have planned that that do need to be funded, and also, however, we know what we need, and we're ready to move forward once we have funding.
Do we know where we are with lead lines in the city?
Yeah, we're still working to replace those lines in Saginaw. I think our timeline is about a 20-year process. So there's several steps involved in that, from determining how many lines you have, which involves actually digging them up and seeing what they're made of, and if they need to be replaced. And then I believe we have our own crew, maybe 2 crews that are doing those line replacements internally. So we're not contracting out for that. And it's going to be a long process just because we do have a lot of those lines.
Let's talk about development for a minute from a different standpoint, though. The city, unlike any other city in the country, is living under its tax cap, which is well publicized. You could bring, thousands of jobs to the city. How would that impact your tax cap? You wouldn't be able to collect much more, would you?
No, we wouldn't collect any more property taxes because of that tax cap. But jobs are very important to the city because they're jobs for our citizens, and also how we've survived the years with that tax cap is because the city of Saginaw has an income tax. So endeavors and development that bring jobs and new residents to the city of Saginaw are really what we try to focus on.
You also have like the public safety millage. When they changed the Home Rule Act a number of years ago, the city was finally allowed to go out and seek revenue for a specific purpose like that. That adds to the coffers, doesn't it?
Yeah, for the public safety millage definitely is a huge help for the city, and we have to thank our state legislators for helping with that and recently extending that for us as well. But that's an example, like you talked about earlier, where people have to be willing to pay for those services, and fortunately, that millage, once it's been in place, has been renewed a few times. So our citizens have been willing to go into their pockets and pay for that, as you mentioned.
Let's talk for a minute about the census and population, because the city dropped below that magic number of 50,000. What does that do for your ability to fund programs from the federal government?
Well, that number has a huge impact on us. The 50,000 threshold impacts a lot of funding from the state and the federal government, in particularly block grant funding for the city. Since we dipped to below 50,000, we wouldn't necessarily be an entitlement community where we automatically receive those block grant funds. We would go to competitive process. Now we're trying to see if HUD would grandfather the city in and still continue to allow us to receive those funds in that manner, but that's not a certainty. It has been done for Michigan cities in the past, but we're still waiting to hear from HUD about that. And that's kind of one of the things, I think, when we look at the ARPA funds, I think there should be an overreaching goal for the city. And one of those is, I think, looking at how can something that we're funding impact our population. Having a goal of, okay, we need to be above 50,000 residents by the next census. So when we look at programs for funding for ARPA, do they have an impact on that? And do they help us grow our population? And I think that can be true of a lot of the categories that were identified by City Council, which is neighborhood revitalization, housing, blight elimination, public safety, health. All those things can go into increasing your population.
And there's one other, schools. And with the bond issue granted the citizens to the Saginaw school system, you're going to have practically a reinvented school system that might attract people.
Yep, that's true. That's the residents of Saginaw being supportive of those endeavors again. I think that's a pretty significant bond issue that the school did, and it allows them to really invest in education. And you're right. I think that could have an impact on it. And that's what we want, to have local units of government cooperating to make everyone successful.
Hang on. One more segment with Tim Morales, City Manager of the City of Saginaw. And we'll be back with him right after these notes.
Start your painting project and save big at Menards. Dutch Boy has the paints you need to get the job done right. DuraClean Interior Paint and Primer in One features a Stay Clean formula that not only goes on easily, but it stays beautiful longer. Available in the award-winning Twist and Pour container. Save on Dutch Boy products, including DuraClean Interior Paint at Menards. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Moorbark is now hiring welders, machine operators, and other skilled positions. No training? No problem. Apply for Moorbark's welder training program and earn while you learn. For more details on this position, other local companies that are hiring, and how to apply, go to MidMichiganWork.com. That's MidMichiganWork.com.
Deflected for Rira. Score!
Your Saginaw Spirit back in action this Thursday at the Dow for the next installment in the battle for the I-75 Divide Cup. The Saginaw Spirit taking on the Flint Firebirds 7:05 for puck drop. Great seats are available at the Dow. You can also get tickets by calling 989-497-7747. You can also go online at SaginawSpirit.com or pop into the Saginaw Spirit store on State Street in Saginaw. Your Spirit battling the Flint Firebirds this Thursday night.
You have an opportunity to make this holiday season very special for some very special children. You are invited to join WSGW and our Alpha Media family of stations, along with Covenant Kids, Tim Hortons, and Impact Saginaw Credit Unions for Lights Before Christmas. During the week of December 6th through the 10th, each night at 8 p.m., lights will be shined for 2 minutes towards the windows where kids are hospitalized at Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw. You can bring your own light shining device, and for the first 100 attendees, free flashlights will be given away. Fire departments, police, MMR will all shine lights too. Plus, with your help, each child will receive a toy, as you can donate new, unwrapped toys at Covenant Healthcare or participating Tim Hortons or Impact Saginaw Credit Union locations. For specific toy donation locations and all the information you need, please visit WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and click on the Lights Before Christmas box.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and we are chatting with Saginaw City Manager Tim Morales. Tim, I just one more topic I wanted to bring up before we go this morning, and that's city streets. And it appears every time there is bond money for roads and things like that, the local communities get left out. The $3.5 billion issue for state roads the governor wanted has nothing for locals. It appears, at least, the ARPA money can't be used for it. Infrastructure money, who knows if there'll be much for local streets. How do we pay to fix the stuff that citizens of this city and every other community use every day?
Yeah, that's a good question, Art, because it's difficult to do that. And we've been doing a lot more work than in the past on our streets. And that's because we've moved a lot of the work in-house, something we did a while ago, purchased equipment and have been doing some of that street work internally, which allows us to stretch the dollars. Also, we have to thank Phil Carwater, Public Services Director, and Beth London, Assistant Director, and the staff in streets, because they've been trying different things that we didn't normally do in the city to help improve the streets, and I think that's had an impact on it. But long term, you're right, that funding level hopefully can increase from the state, if it's either through these infrastructure dollars or some other sources, because that's going to have the most impact is additional funds. And going back to that census number you talked about before, our gas weight and tax funds that come to the city, the state's formula is also based partially on population. So that decrease in population also has an impact on our local streets. It's going to decrease our money by several $100,000 a year that we receive from the statewide gas and weight taxes.
And as EVs become more plentiful and gasoline use begins to drop, it's just another number going down, isn't it?
It sure is. And I think that's going to be something that the state is going to have to look at, because we know that the funding comes from the gas taxes, but EVs are not paying the gas tax, but they're still utilizing the roads.
Well, Tim, listen, I want to thank you, first of all, for spending some time with us this morning, and wish you and yours a very happy holiday season.
Thank you, Art.
Hope you didn't eat too much turkey on the last one.
Yeah.
Tim, always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you, and you have a good holiday season as well, Art.
You too. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. Tim Morales, he is the city manager for the city of Saginaw. We thank him for joining us this morning here on the Art Lewis Show. And he's, he has been in that role now for quite a number of years. And you talk to most anyone in city government, and they will tell you what a great breath of fresh air he has been, and a master of budgeting and making the dollars go the farthest for the citizens. So hats off to him. All right. Couple of minutes before I take the last break here. Again, for those of you who've been listening, our phones are not functioning, so you can't call in, even though next hour is an open hour. You can, however, if you wish to send me a message about something I'm talking about or something you want to hear us talk about, email me at artlewis@wsgw.com. That's one word, ARTLEWIS, at wsgw.com. And we will try and get your comments on. Also, if you're watching on our video feed, twitch.tv, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that, on the right side, there is a comment box. You can click on the comment tab and type in a comment, and we'll try and get them all included. We'll take a break, then come back and finish up this hour.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks, and how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
I couldn't breathe at all. I was 39 weeks pregnant. I thought I was gonna die. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. And if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not?
Find your vaccine at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week on RocketGrabPlus.com, we have an extended Black Friday deal for 120 Fitness in Saginaw. You're going to get your monthly membership to 120 Fitness for only $16. It's usually $32, but you are getting yours half off. 120 Fitness offers 2 floors of top-of-the-line cardio equipment, a variety of strength training equipment, and fitness classes like yoga and Zumba. If you want to get in shape in a clean and comfortable environment, head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Honey, call the doctor. I'm officially sick of junk mail, emails, and ads about Medicare. Why are they suddenly bombarding us with this stuff?
Because it's open enrollment. We could get more benefits.
Okay, then. Which of these envelopes should we open?
None. Let's go to EasyMedicare.com.
EasyMedicare.com can clear up your Medicare confusion with simple, easy answers with multiple plans to choose from in just about every U.S. zip code. EasyMedicare.com can help you find the best plan. Annual enrollment is now through December 7th. Go to EasyMedicare.com. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Medicare.com. Or speak with a licensed agent at 1-888-486-1662. That's 888-486-1662. EasyMedicare.com. We make choosing a Medicare plan easy.
EasyMedicare.com is owned and operated by E-Telecode Insurance Inc., a duly licensed insurance agency. The E-Telecode Insurance Inc. or EasyMedicare.com is connected with workforce by the U.S. government and federal Medicare program. In California, Florida, and New Mexico, we operate as E-Telecode Insurance Inc.
Michigan Wolverines football is on WSGW.
Gives it to Haskins. Haskins scores untouched, his 5th of the day, and the Wolverines extend their lead. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Wolverine Nation, the long drought is over. Ohio State is vanquished. The Wolverines are going to go to Indianapolis with a chance to win a Big Ten title.
As Jim Brandstatter said, Michigan vanquished Ohio State to win the Big Ten East title. Now, the second-ranked Wolverines travel to Indianapolis, where they'll face number 15 Iowa in the Big Ten Championship. Live this Saturday night at 7 p.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW. Michigan football is brought to you by Forward Energy, Medicare Choices of Saginaw, Schaefer Beer Line, Ram Truck in Frankenmuth, Wolf Files, Ace Hardware in Saginaw, Big East Sports Grill, and Lingle Equipment Company in Saginaw. It's Michigan against Iowa in the Big Ten Championship. Live Saturday night at 7 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
The Wolverines play on WSGW.
You can hear about the cultural contributions and concerns of the Hispanic community in the Great Lakes Bay region on one of WSGW's new public affairs programs. I'm Larry Rodarte, publisher of Mi Gente magazine, and I'm inviting you to join us for Mi Gente on air Sunday evenings at 8 p.m.
That's going to do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Thanks for joining us. We thank Tim Morales for being with us this morning and chatting with us for a little bit. We'll have, I can't say open phones next hour. We'll have an open hour. Let's put it that way. A lot of things to talk about, and we'll bring a few topics up. But hopefully our phone situation will be cured in the next day or two and we get back to normal again. Won't that be nice? Meantime, stick around for the news at the top of the hour. We'll be back right after that.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Both advocates and opponents are watching closely as the Supreme Court begins hearing arguments this hour on Mississippi's law that bans abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The outcome could allow states to outlaw the procedure for the first time since Roe v. Wade. CBS's Steve Dorsey.
Elizabeth Nash with the Pro-Abortion Rights Guttmacher Institute says Mississippi's restrictions prevent women faced with required counseling and financing and travel challenges from accessing abortions.
All of these things can push a person later into pregnancy so they cannot access an abortion within this 15-week limit.
Anti-abortion advocates like former Vice President Mike Pence hope the conservative court not only upholds the law, but strikes down Roe versus Wade.
The court's misguided decision has inflicted a tragedy not only on our nation, but on humanity.
Ireland and South Korea join the growing list of countries documenting their first cases of the new Omicron variant. It showed up in at least 24 nations, but not yet in the U.S. Tomorrow, The Biden administration is expected to announce new restrictions that would require all air travelers to show negative COVID tests taken within a day of entering the country. On this World AIDS Day, the UN warns long lines at COVID clinics are keeping people from seeking testing and treatment for HIV and AIDS. Spokeswoman Winnie Byanyima.
In the coming years, we might see more deaths, we might see more new infections as a result of these disruptions.
Police in Oxford Township, Michigan, say the 15-year-old suspect who killed 3 high school students used a gun his father purchased on Black Friday. Correspondent Nancy Chen.
Police do not yet know the shooter's motive.
I have seen him around the school, and he's a kid. He's just a regular kid that goes to school.
Trayshawn Bryant, a senior, said the suspect had been bullied, and he stayed home from school after hearing threats about a possible shooting.
Police in the South say the case of a dishonest delivery driver was much worse than first reported. CBS's Jim Krasula.
Investigators now say an unidentified FedEx driver dumped packages into a ravine outside Coleman, Alabama, north of Birmingham, at least 6 times. More than 400 discarded parcels were discovered last week. The Blount County Sheriff's Office says it will take time to sort out the mess. Charges are possible against the driver.
Move over, Paris. There's a new most expensive city on the map. Tel Aviv has gone from 5th to 1st, thanks to the skyrocketing price of groceries and the shekel's strength over the dollar. The Dow's up 233 points. This is CBS News.
With Indeed Instant Match, just sponsor a post and immediately receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Keep the Saginaw Children's Zoo in mind while you shop for your holiday gifts. Visit our website to purchase a membership. Have a wild holiday and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones this season. Stay connected to what is happening at the Saginaw Children's Zoo by visiting our website at saginawzoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo.
How do you do?
At Menards, get your closet organized with our wide selection of closet-made closet kits. Whether your storage needs are big or small, we have the organizer for you. These closet kits are perfect for everything from hanging clothes to storing accessories. With advanced features to maximize your storage space, ClosetMate is the perfect choice for any application. Hurry in and check out all of our closet-made closet kits at Menards. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special VA programs. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you've learned the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trusts? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Should I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend Attorney Jerry Rice's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Tuesday, December 7th at 2 o'clock in Saginaw at the Capocco Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or register online at jerryrifelawyer.com.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few spotty rain showers possible late today, otherwise cloudy skies, a high in the low 40s. South winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, we'll have a slight chance for areas of drizzle at times with cloudy skies. Temperatures fall early, then slowly rise overnight. By Thursday, partial sunshine develops, a high 49 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly cloudy skies, a high around 39. Saturday, partly sunny, high of 37 degrees. Then by Sunday, slight chance for snow early, then mixing with rain late, cloudy and a high around 41. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki for the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 33.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Wednesday morning. Just as a reminder, the phones here at the station are not functional at the moment, so you can't call in response to whatever we're going to talk about. However, you can email me at artlewis@wsgw.com, as one of our listeners, Joe, has done. I'll get to that in a moment. But I just want to take a moment out to tell you that our show is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. And Linda is where you would turn for all of your residential, commercial real estate needs. And she can help you. Boy, she does a fabulous job. You can call her at 989-295-7713. Linda Shepard, Pinnacle Realty, down at the Point, M46 and M47. That's the former ISD building, where you will also find Cafe 476 with their delicious soups and beverages and food stuff. Great place for lunch. Beautiful view, too, out the back. Watch nature while you eat. So for all your real estate needs and your food needs, keep in mind Linda Shepard, Pinnacle Realty, and Cafe 476. All right. Also, because the phones are down, you can email me with comments, artlewis@wsgw.com. All one word, ARTLEWIS @wsgw.com. And if you're watching on the video link, you can also send me a message on the video link, as Chris has done. So I want to get to these two comments. The first one, that both of these, by the way, have to do with the Oxford school shooting. And Joseph sent me an email in which he said, the dad of the Oxford shooter, and I got to change the screen here so I can see the whole message. There we go. The dad of the Oxford shooter bought that gun just 4 days prior to the shooting. When are we going to hold gun owners responsible for allowing young kids access to these weapons? By the way, I'm a strong Second Amendment supporter. What say you? Well, first of all, Joseph, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I do think that gun owners who allowed their weapons to be accessed by youngsters can be held liable, can be held responsible. I will find that out. It is a good comment. It is a good question, because time and time again, we hear that someone has left a gun unlocked in an unsafe condition, and a youngster picks it up and accidentally shoots somebody in the house or themselves. And so you wonder, where is the responsibility? So we will pursue that question. I know who to ask, and I will do that. Now, Chris wrote me, and this is kind of long here, and so I have to read it over here. Regarding the Oxford school shooting, you mentioned we need to learn and use this to improve safety, or something like that. I think after Columbine, Sandy Hook, and too many more shootings of schools of some kind, we know anything, but we haven't done anything about the problem. Most detectors, armed stuff, armed security, police, former military, to provide deterrent to discourage shooters from killing students. Okay, some interesting points there. First of all, make no mistake, we have learned things, and we are more diligent. Now, I will only speak to this region because we have school systems in this region that have taken very, very significant action to try and prevent active shooters and be ready to respond if need arises. But we have learned, because each of those cases that you mentioned, the Columbines of the world, the Sandy Hooks, what have you, have all been thoroughly investigated, have been psychologically examined, and we learned something from every one of them. Does that mean that you're going to stop someone like this 15-year-old grabs his dad's gun and goes off to create mayhem? Are you going to be able to stop every one of them? No. Nothing is perfect. Someone with intent on creating a tragedy like this, unless they have given fair warning through their comments, through their discussions, through their social media, you're not going to know. No matter how many of these shootings there are, you're not going to ever know when that lone wolf decides to act. You can protect the schools as much as you can. Do you really want them to be armed camps? Well, I'll tell you, at one time I would have said no. But with the proliferation of these kinds of incidents, maybe it is time we look at having some type of presence on campus. Many schools have school police officers, security officers, what have you. But the idea of, for example, ex-military being on site, hired as security, if you will, that's been around. It's been talked about. Is that what we want? Do we want to turn our schools into literally armed camps? It's a difficult question for a number of reasons. First of all, don't even begin to talk about dollars, because what price do you put on a youngster's life, a human life? Whatever it costs to keep them safe is what you spend. The question is, how is it spent, and is it spent well? Would it pay to hire former military, former police officers to fill those roles in every school? I don't know. Would it help? Well, I guess, yeah, sure. Would it prevent it from happening? No, but less likely, and also a quicker response if it does. So they're good questions, Chris, but there's no easy answer. There is no easy answer. And Chris reminds me that Arthur Hill at one time 10 years ago had metal detectors. So, maybe we set up airport type security at every school. You can't get in or out without going through them and being examined. There's no easy answer. There is not an easy answer. And there's not just one answer fits all. Time will tell. But I do think that we do have to look at the responsibility of the parent who leaves the gun accessible to a 15-year-old. All right, we're going to take a break. And again, you can email me or write a message on the video, and we will be back with more.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open sharply higher. The latest reading on the job market sets the stage for an upbeat reading from the Labor Department, which releases its monthly report on Friday. Payroll processing company ADP says private employers created 534,000 new jobs in November, more than forecast. Yesterday's sell-off on Wall Street is attributed to continued uncertainty about the impact of the new variant of COVID and the Fed preparing to pull back economic stimulus. Merck shares are rising after scientific advisors recommended authorization of its experimental COVID-19 antiviral treatment. Apple shares could close at a record again today on optimism about the company seeing higher sales at the end of this year. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Puerto Rico is the new go-to destination for investment opportunities, and Impeller is the new online tool that connects investors with innovative projects seeking capital on the island. Impeller takes the guesswork out of investing in Puerto Rico, surfacing the insights you need to make informed decisions and empower your investment portfolio. Visit investpr.org/impeller and set up your account today to see what the island has to offer. Impeller, your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Powered by Invest Puerto Rico.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit inspiresleep.com to learn more.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The annual measurement, as it's called, from PNC, its Christmas Price Index, was released, where it outlines the total cost of all the items individually and then collectively from the 12 Days of Christmas song for 2021, that it would cost $41,206 to obtain the requisite items from each of the 12 verses, an increase from last year.
That's beyond my budget. 41 grand.
I need my milk. 8 maids of milking, $58. It's the cheapest price on the whole list. $58 for 8 maids.
That's why.
Someone's got to lobby for him.
See, Charlie, that's why I enjoy the Bob and Doug McKenzie 12 Days of Christmas. I like their gift ideas, which are golden toques and French toasts and a beer and a tree.
And much more affordable.
A lot more affordable.
For the average person.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
Pressure coming. Sack time! Aiden Hutchinson drops Stroud at the 39-yard line.
The Michigan Wolverines face the Iowa Hawkeyes in the Big Ten Championship live Saturday night at 7 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. And just one more email referencing what happened at Oxford and the guns. Joe emailed me back and said, well, yeah, he thinks there are laws that hold people responsible, but you never hear of charges or prosecutions. And that may be true. We'll have to look and see. But I do believe there are laws that hold you responsible for gun safety in your home. But are there follow-ups to it? I don't know. We'll find out. All right. A couple of other things I want to chat about. And again, if you have some comments about anything at all, you can email me, artlewis@wsgw.com. As you know, a few months ago, they had an extension, continuing resolution, if you will, to keep government funded through, I believe, the 22nd of December, just before the holidays. And actually not the 22nd, I'm sorry. Friday, this Friday, I think, the 3rd is what the date is. And if they don't have another continuing resolution or get a budget done or things of that nature, government shuts down. At least the non-essential parts of government shuts down. Well, the battle in Congress may force that issue. Conservative Republicans are threatening to not pass a continuing resolution and allow government to shut down in order to stop the Build Back Better plan and the excess spending from the Biden administration. Basically, Congress has till the end of the week to pass some kind of funding measure. And what they're arguing about is not only the Build Back Better, but the mandates that the president put out a mandate through OSHA that employers with 100 or more workers and healthcare workers at facilities participating in Medicare and Medicaid be vaccinated. Courts have knocked it down so far. But the Republicans will deny funding to prevent the Biden administration from enforcing those mandates if the courts were to allow them. So it's going to be interesting to watch this little battle. It's going to be interesting to see who prevails here. I think what will happen, as has happened in the past, it is possible the government will shut down after Friday. How long it will stay shut down is a whole nother story. I would not expect the shutdown to last a very long time, although there are a lot of contentious issues. However, the reason I say that I don't believe it will last a very long time is that the 2022 midterm elections are right around the corner, less than a year away. Both sides are concerned about gathering votes. Traditional thinking says that the Republicans should improve their lot in the House and Senate because typically in midterms, the party in power loses some power. Couple that to the fact that the president and vice president's approval ratings are in the tank right now, and that now the majority of Americans do not favor the Build Back Better plan because of pocketbook issues. It's going to be an interesting time this year. It's going to be interesting to see how the Republicans go after the Democrats to try and regain control of the House and Senate. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Democrats defend what they're doing. Both have to worry about inflation. How do we cure inflation? Nobody seems to have an answer. There are a lot of reasons for it. Demand is one of them. Now couple that with the Omicron variant of COVID-19, and if it's found that the current vaccines are not effective, we could be right back where we were 2 years ago. Nobody wants that. Absolutely nobody wants that. Let's hope that the studies being done will prove that the vaccines are fairly effective against the Omicron version as it was against Delta. But we don't know. There's just a lot of uncertainties. It's driven the market down. Wall Street has had problems because of it. We're in an uncertain time. And the threat of a shutdown of government just adds a little more uncertainty to it. And there are some who believe shutting down the government would be the best thing you can do. I remember the last time it happened, because the last time it happened was a few years ago, and I went to Washington, D.C. At the invite of a congressman to attend the State of the Union address. But because government had been shut down, the State of the Union address was put off. But I went to Washington anyway for 3 days. And it was an interesting time, to say the least. And there are those who believe that shutting government down is a good thing. I don't know that I totally agree with that. Is there waste in government? Sure, there's waste in government. Is that the way to fix it? No, I don't think so. But a lot of people do. A lot of people say, hey, period, shut it down. Who cares? You really don't save any money, because what happens is when government comes back, everybody gets retroactive money. So you don't save anything. You just make it very inconvenient for people that need the services that aren't available. It's unfortunate, but it's the way of the world. It's the way it goes, you know. Anyhow, we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. And then the question is, Omicron, are you taking it seriously? There's a headline, and let me see whose it is here. There was a headline that says, many Americans give it shrug and don't necessarily worry about it. Is that a mistake? You know, if you've been fully vaccinated and got your booster shot, are you convinced that you are protected against Omicron? You'll travel, you'll do everything. You won't change your plans. There's going to be, I look back at these past 2 years. I've been around a long time, 78 years old. I never lived through any period of time quite like this. I've lived through tragedies and traumas and all of those things, but do not remember a time when the world is on edge, literally, not just the United States, but the world is on edge. Very, very difficult time. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
Get organized with help from Menards and Dakota Shelving. Whether you need a spot for extra storage or want to add an accent to your living space, Dakota has the shelf for you. With a variety of attractive finishes, your shelves are guaranteed to match your style. Keep your home neat and tidy and pick up an 8-foot by 11 3/4-inch pre-finished square edge shelf for just $9.99 after $5 rebate. Plus, a Menard gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
We're still facing COVID-19, and now it's flu season. Why not face them together? You can get your COVID-19 vaccine and your flu vaccine at the same time. Just ask your doctor. You'll save time and you could save lives. People 65 and older and those with underlying health conditions are especially at risk. Let's face COVID-19 and the flu together, Michigan. Get vaccinated. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
At CDW, we get that even the biggest jobs need to fit on your lap.
It's true. My entire workday happens right here on my lap.
And you can get it done faster with the performance and security of a device configured by CDW and powered by the Built for Business Intel V Pro platform.
Nice.
Are you done yet, Mommy?
More time for story time.
An even better use of your lap. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Intel client.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart, or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
This is the 50th year anniversary of Woodstock coming up. And just announced, if you regret you were not around for Woodstock, there are times I'm glad I was not around for Woodstock. Well, I was alive, but I certainly wasn't available to go and attend.
But the music would have been cool.
Rhino Records has come up with a way to relive the festival in real time. It's created a near complete reconstruction of the concert, a boxed set called Woodstock, Back to the Garden. The definitive 50th anniversary archive is coming out. 38 CDs, 36 hours long. Well, this full box set is coming out August 2nd. It will cost you nearly $800.
Ouch. A lot of people bring back memories, and if they were there, they might want to pay $800 to.
Maybe because they don't remember it to begin with.
Exactly.
This would be a way for them to relive it.
This is what I missed. I didn't know this band was there.
We must be in heaven, man.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. WSGW. Your source for local news and information in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And welcome back. The Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. If you've been following the saga of Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of New York, add to that saga now, his brother, Chris Cuomo, has been indefinitely suspended from CNN because he took an active role in trying to help his brother during the crisis. And CNN has said he will remain suspended pending further investigation. And I think, regardless of your political views, I think we have to look at this from the standpoint of the reliability, dependability, believability of the media. When someone represents the media as a journalist, whether you agree with his views or not, Chris Cuomo was an anchor, journalist, presenting his views. They need to be above board. And I know in this day and age, people have a lot of questions about the national media and how it presents the news. And, you know, if you watch Fox News and then you watch CNN News, you'd think you'd live in two different countries because of the way they report the news very differently. Each has its own bent. We long for the days of the Walter Cronkites of the world who gave you the news. Of course, I blame a lot of this on the 24-hour news cycle. The CNNs came along, and the Foxes, and the MSNBCs, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they had to fill 24 hours. Well, you can't do that strictly with news because all you're doing is repeating the same news every hour, over and over and over and over again. So they went to this talking head concept, this panel discussion where they have 4 or 5 people to discuss the day's events. That's not news, first of all. It's opinion. And then what happened is the opinion began to sneak into the news, the journalism. So before you know it, you have a CNN and you have a Fox can look at the same story and give you 2 completely different versions. Because one looks at it from the right, the other looks at it from the left. And that is the nature of the beast today. Having said that, it does not excuse a Chris Cuomo from using his position to aid his brother. And I understand brotherly love. I have to tell you, I do not fault Chris Cuomo for wanting to come to the aid of his brother. It's what brothers do. I fault him for not stepping down to do it. I fault him because he remained in his position of trust. And now, can he be trusted? Again, I don't fault him for doing what he did. I don't fault him for coming to the aid of his brother. He just should have been a bigger man than that and said to the audience, I'm stepping away for a while to assist my brother. That's understandable. It's not understandable to do it behind everybody's back and try and deny it. That's not acceptable. In the world of journalism I grew up in, that's not acceptable. But again, I'm from the Walter Cronkite era. I remember hearing him speak one time, Cronkite, and he was asked about running for president because at the time, Walter Cronkite probably could have been elected in a landslide, no matter who ran against him. To which he responded, I cannot use this position that I hold for political advancement. Because he, as a journalist, had the advantage of name recognition, all of those things that go with fame and fortune and all that, he refused to use it for political advantage. And he never, ever considered running for office. I wonder how many journalists, actors, and others today can say the same thing. Now, understand, I believe everybody has a right to run for office if they want to run for office. But I particularly appreciated the fact that he did not want to use his notoriety and position for political gain. I think we've lost some of that luster today. I'd be willing to bet that most of these folks that are on national TV, given the opportunity to run for office, would do so. All right, quick break. We will be back with more.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at exergen.com.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week on RocketGrabPlus.com, we have an extended Black Friday deal for 120 Fitness in Saginaw. You are going to get your monthly membership to 120 Fitness for only $16. It's usually $32, but you are getting yours half off. 120 Fitness offers 2 floors of top-of-the-line cardio equipment, a variety of strength training equipment, and fitness classes like yoga and Zumba. If you want to get in shape in a clean and comfortable environment, head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Michigan Wolverines football is on WSGW.
Gives it to Haskins. Haskins scores untouched. His 5th of the day. And the Wolverines extend their lead. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Wolverine Nation, the long drought is over. Ohio State is vanquished. The Wolverines are going to go to Indianapolis with a chance to win a Big Ten title.
As Jim Brandstatter said, Michigan vanquished Ohio State to win the Big Ten East title. Now, the second-ranked Wolverines travel to Indianapolis, where they'll face number 15 Iowa in the Big Ten Championship. Live this Saturday night at 7 p.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW. Michigan football is brought to you by Forward Energy, Medicare Choices of Saginaw, Schaefer Beer Line, Ram Truck in Frankenmuth, Wolfiles, Ace Hardware in Saginaw, Big East Sports Grill, and Legal Equipment Company in Saginaw. It's Michigan against Iowa in the Big Ten Championship, live Saturday night at 7 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
The Wolverines play on WSGW.
Here's Nemesnikov with a shot. Rebound chance. Stahl scores. The Red Wings have taken a 2-1 lead.
The Red Wings play 6:45 tonight on 100.5 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Going to ask a question you can't call in the answer, unfortunately, because of the phones. But I'm wondering what you're doing for Christmas this year from a shopping standpoint. The numbers produced for Black Friday and Cyber Monday were a little less than last year. And I'm wondering, with supply chain issues, price issues, worry about COVID, things of that nature. Whether you plan to, A, do as much shopping, spend as much money, B, have a big family gathering or not, and C, travel. How much of it are we all going to do this holiday? Now, in my house, we did not have a gathering for Thanksgiving. We had 2 friends over for dinner, but our sons and their wives went to the in-laws in their various locations, which was fine with us. We said, go do it. That's great. But traditionally, we celebrate the holidays at Christmas Eve, and they want to do that this year. So we are going to do our traditional hors d'oeuvre Christmas Eve that we do every year. And it's also when we exchange presents, etc. However, my wife and I have decided that it will not be as big a Christmas as it's been in the past. First of all, there's not as much need. Our sons are grown. They're over 50, both of them, and both married to beautiful women. And they don't require all of the stuff we used to do in the past. So family dictates that we don't have to have as much, do as much for Christmas. We will do the dinner, though. We'll do our hors d'oeuvre dinner. That is part of our family tradition and has been for decades and decades and decades. And we're not willing to give it up. So we are going to do that. But when it comes to gifts, not nearly as many this year. Keep the expenses down. And I think, I believe a lot of people are looking at it that way. I'm sure there's going to be those that are going to spend. Where did I hear someplace they expect the average person to spend $800 and some odd dollars or something like that on Christmas? There will be those spending. And I hope they spend it locally first, because the independent businesses that invest their time and treasure in our community and their bricks and mortar stores deserve our support. So if you're going to spend for Christmas, let's hope you do it locally to start. Now, obviously, if you can't find a local store, local ownership to supply what you need, and you have to go to the big boxes, so be it. And if you have to go online, so be it. But at least think of these local business people that have everything at risk so they can serve the public. And yes, make a profit, make a little money. Why not? That's what business is all about. It's what's driven America. There is nothing dirty about the word profit. It's what's made this country great. We wouldn't have half the things we had if profit wasn't the motivator for invention. So don't look at profit as a dirty word. It's not. So I hope the locals do very well. It's going to be up to us. All right, we're going to take our last break, come back, close out the hour, move on to Focus this morning. All that coming up after these notes.
The Windy City's home, Chicago. Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The unmistakable sound of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's Chicago. Tickets start at $54 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com.
Saturday in the park. If you see me walking by, and the tears are in my eyes, look away.
Chicago, Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me.
Horns and hits.
Does everybody really know what time it is? 25 or 6 to 4.
Chicago. Tickets are on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Deflected for a reload. Score!
Your Saginaw Spirit back in action this Thursday at the Dow for the next installment in the battle for the I-75 Divide Cup. The Saginaw Spirit taking on the Flint Firebirds, 7:05 for puck drop. Great seats are available at the Dow. You can also get tickets by calling 989-497-7747. You can also go online at SaginawSpirit.com or pop into the Saginaw Spirit store on State Street in Saginaw. Your Spirit battling the Flint Firebirds this Thursday night.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
This flu season update is sponsored by Exergen. Do you have the flu? Here's CBS News medical contributor, Dr. David Agus.
The flu classically doesn't have GI symptoms to start and respiratory symptoms. It can, but it doesn't. But they can imitate each other. So the flu classically starts with fever and chills. And then if you have it for more than 3 days, you need to go to your doctor.
The leading sign of COVID is a fever. So everyone needs an accurate thermometer. Try the Exergen temporal scanner and learn more at Exergen.com.
And that'll do it for today. We thank you for joining us. Heading up the top of the hour, there'll be news. Michael Percha in the WSGW newsroom to bring you up to date on the local stories and state stuff. CBS News First, though, will bring you up to date on the nation and the world. And then we will be back with Focus. And assuming things work, hopefully, we will have an interview about United Way of Bay County. Talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. Key arguments at the U.S. Supreme Court with the future of abortion rights in this country on the line. CBS's Steve Dorsey in Washington says it's about a Mississippi law.
Mississippi Solicitor General Scott Stewart called on the court to not only uphold the law, but reverse two long-standing precedents that protect abortion rights.
This court should overrule Roe and Casey and uphold the state's law.
But Justice Sonia Sotomayor said the court's integrity is at stake if it appears to bow to social pressure.
If people actually believe that it's all political, how will we survive? How will the court survive?
Center for Reproductive Rights attorney Julie Rickleman argued the law is unconstitutional and abortion rights should be protected.
Eliminating or reducing the right to abortion will propel women backwards.
Let me educate some of you women.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington, where it's a busy scene outside the Supreme Court with protesters wanting to be heard from both sides.
What do we want? Access! What do we want?
As a woman's right to terminate a pregnancy is being debated once again.
Women!
Schools are closed the rest of the week in Oxford, Michigan, after the high school mass shooting that left 3 dead and 8 wounded. CBS's Nancy Chen reports police say the student under arrest used a weapon bought by his father.
Police say they do have the suspect in custody, but so far the 15-year-old is refusing to cooperate. Investigators have searched his home. They also spent the night here at the high school looking for clues, but a motive is still unclear.
In a copy of a new book obtained by the Guardian newspaper, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Mark Meadows claims former President Trump tested positive for COVID 3 days before his first debate with Joe Biden. A second test after a campaign event that day was negative. Mr. Trump was hospitalized with the virus a week later. In a statement, Mr. Trump says the account is fake news. CBS's Jim Krasula tells us the Biden administration's moving to tighten travel rules because of the Omicron variant of the coronavirus.
In a statement, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that it was working toward requiring that all air travelers to the U.S. be tested for COVID-19 within a day before boarding their flight. Currently, those who are fully vaccinated may present a test taken within 3 days of boarding.
Japan says its ban on air travelers from other countries will last through the end of the month. Police in Germany say an old World War II bomb exploded today at a construction site near a rail line in Munich. 4 people were hurt. Wall Street, the Dow is up 437 points. NASDAQ up 232. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special VA programs. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trusts? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Should I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend Attorney Jerry Rice's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Tuesday, December 7th at 2 o'clock in Saginaw at the Capocco Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or register online at jerryrifelawyer.com.
If you're tired of big cable bills, you can get Newsmax TV for free. Millions are watching Newsmax. Available now on major cable systems or for free on smart TVs like Samsung, LG, and Vizio. Find it streaming on Roku, Xumo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, TiVo, Apple TV, and more. 7 million Americans have downloaded the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. It takes just seconds. Then watch us anytime, anywhere. Forbes calls Newsmax a news powerhouse. Find out why. Start watching today.
Good morning. Oh, I can't hear you yet. We can't hear you.
You want to chat him so he knows?
I think he knows because he gave us a thumbs up.
There he goes, thumbs up. Good.
Eating some applesauce.
Is that creepily moving on you?
No.
I can hear you.
We're all dreaming of something. So why not make those dreams a reality?
A new van with sliding doors.
A new house with more than one bathroom.
Oh, and heated seats.
Or maybe even just some money to add a new bathroom to this house.
A remote starter.
No matter what you've been dreaming of lately, Dow Chemical Employees Credit Union has a loan for you. With great rates, fast approvals, and a potential year-end loan interest rebate via our member giveback, DCECU can help make your dreams come true. Visit dcecu.org/borrow for more details. Membership eligibility required. Loans subject to approval based on creditworthiness of applicants and collateral conditions if applicable. Other limitations may apply. While member giveback rebates and rewards occur with great regularity, this credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member giveback consideration. Some limitations apply. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
I did dental work done this morning, so I'm kind of grouchy. Are you taking your time now?
Yeah, it keeps pulling. I should have like a Live United Way sign, but we're not going to be. It's just radio.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few spotty rain showers possible late today, otherwise cloudy skies, a high in the low 40s. South winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, we'll have a slight chance for areas of drizzle at times with cloudy skies. Temperatures fall early, then slowly rise overnight. By Thursday, partial sunshine develops, a high 49 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly cloudy skies, a high around 39. Saturday, partly sunny, high of 37 degrees. Then by Sunday, slight chance for snow early, then mixing with rain late, cloudy, and a high around 41. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki for the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 35.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of Focus, brought to you by RoofMax, the system that extends the life of your asphalt shingles. Find out more at roofmax.com. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. And today we're going to talk about the Bay County United Way. And first of all, we say good morning to Megan Saman. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Art. Thank you so much for having us.
You're more than welcome. And who is with you this morning?
We have Matt Falon, who is the president and CEO of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance and the campaign co-chair with me this year.
I know that. I just wanted you to introduce him.
Always happy to. One of my good friends.
Good morning, Art. Good to see you as always.
As always, Matt, thank you much for being with us this morning. So let's talk about the campaign for United Way and United Ways in general. This is the time of year when you have your campaign. What does this mean to the operation of the United Way?
The campaign for the United Way is integral to be able to raise the needed funds to operate throughout the year. Without the campaign, the United Way may not be able to do some of the big impactful partnerships that they do throughout the year.
How did COVID impact funding?
Yeah, Art, there's no question. I don't care what charity you are, if you're the United Way or one of the local partners, COVID hit hard. And if you really think about the United Way, they're funded by, folks here at home, local businesses, local employees, and times were tough. Folks had their hours cut. They had to cut employees, chatting with, let's just use construction as an example. In 2020-21, those folks have seen about a 20% reduction in the amount of work that they would normally do. And so, it's tough decisions have to be made. And, some of the immediate cuts are what happens to local nonprofits. And they've definitely, felt the impact. I think it's important to say it's just not the United Way, but the 26 local partners they support. They were all hit across the board, Art.
And, now we're in a period, and Matt, you know this well, labor is a problem in a lot of places, finding labor. A lot of businesses have restricted their hours, particularly small businesses, restaurants, things of that nature. That has to have some impact on the campaign, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, there's no question. And what I give people credit for, Art, and we always see this in the Great Lakes Bay region, and you and I have talked about this, the people are what make our community so great. It's a very hardworking people. It's people that understand that there are less fortunate in our community that need to be taken care of. And what I've noticed, Art, is, hey, maybe someone can't give as large of a check, but I'll tell you what, they're still doing it. And, Megan's better at this than me, but, money is not the only thing that folks can do when they help the United Way.
Let's talk about that a little bit, Megan. So what do you ask for during the campaign? What's the ask?
The ask is to get involved, and there's many ways you can get involved with the United Way, and at different points in your life you can get involved in different ways, but that is through either giving of your time, your talent, or your treasures, or what the United Way likes to talk about giving and volunteering through advocacy of their time. And so you can give either by writing a check, you can give by volunteering your time and helping out with any of the resource partners or any of the programs that they do, including the back to school shopping. It's not just raising the money for some of these programs, but it's actually deploying some of the resources to do it. So for the back to school program, they need a lot of volunteers to go out and get the clothes and shoes and the needed items so the kids can have back to school items, and it truly takes a huge volunteer base to be able to do that. And then again, the advocacy, sometimes it's about sharing the message so people can be involved. As Matt said, it's not necessarily about the dollar amount, but the more people who give, it certainly helps the greater good.
So, United Way, for ever since I can remember, one of the backbones of its fundraising has been through businesses, where businesses cooperate and ask their employees to donate. Is that still happening as much today?
Yes, and there's great examples. The businesses in our community have a long history of being involved in the United Way and in giving back to the community. Companies like Winelander Fitzhugh, Michigan Sugar, McLaren Bay Region, so many banks and credit unions and organizations have had a long history of doing employee campaigns. Rob Clark, I think, does it probably one of the best ways. Matt and I got to sit in on their United Way kickoff and making it fun and having games and making it educational and putting prizes behind it. There's been a lot of fun ways to see how employees have made that part of their fabric of who they are, and in turn teaching their employees about the importance of giving back, not only as individuals, but as part of their core competency as an organization.
A number of years ago, I chaired the Saginaw County campaign, and Matt, You couldn't do what you're doing today without the staff at United Way, could you?
No, not at all. I mean, United Way staff, here in Bay County, our CEO, Nicole Luzak's come in and just done a tremendous job. What's hard, Art, is through the years, the size of the staffs at our United Ways across the region, they're not what they once were. They've gotten smaller. Folks that understand that I don't care where you're at, whether it's in a business or in a nonprofit, it seems like we all have to do, more with less. And I think we're seeing that. And what I would say, and what I love about the United Way is beyond its staff, Art, the boards are amazing. And the board members have come together. They really take a major leadership role, and they understand. I mean, in each county, this is their community. These are their neighbors and their family and friends that they're supporting. So they take the role very seriously. And so kind of that combination of staff and boards come together to really get quite a bit of work done.
All right, gang, hang on. We'll be right back as we talk about the United Way campaign in Bay County on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And let me ask how your sleep was last night, because, in today's world, we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. We'll be back with our guests right after these notes.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is, until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Tough loss. Any questions?
Coach, why was your 11-year-old niece playing center in the second half?
She was our best option.
So it's not because you wanted to end the game to go to Big E Sports Grill.
The place with 30 beers on tap?
Yes.
And a 1-pound wet burrito that's to die for? No comment.
Coach, aren't you headed to Big E Sports Grill now?
Yes. No comment.
Big E Sports Grill in Midland. We're a bunch of bar raisers and grill seekers. For specials, visit BigESportsGrills.com.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Would you rather be just a driver, another employee, number on a spreadsheet, or a team member driving growth? Friend to the face. If you want to be a valued member of a family that's growing and prospering every day, then Northern Logistics may be for you. Northern Logistics is now hiring CDLA truck drivers, both local and OTR. Northern Logistics offers great benefits, a strong emphasis on safety, 6-month bonuses, and a 401k match. Apply at norloworld.com. That's NORLO world.com.
Are you aware the average person blinks 1,000 times an hour? Who cares? Just be aware of the Powerball jackpot. We're talking big.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot, $264 million.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to Megan Salmon from United Way of Bay County and the chair of the campaign this year, Matt Fallon. Let's talk a little bit about United Way of Bay County and the programs you fund. What kind of a range of programs are we talking about?
So the United Way has 26 different impact partners as part of their funding mechanisms. And the funding starts with looking at what 3 categories or buckets do they have to fall under to be included in the funding. And it comes down to health, income stability, and education. And so with those 3 buckets, those 26 impact partners are from the Boys and Girls Club, the Can Council, the Women's Center, Literacy Council, Hidden Harvest, Big Brothers Big Sisters, so many amazing nonprofits, the Good Samaritan Rescue Mission, which I know that WSGW has been a partner with for a long time as well. So thank you for your partnership to do some great work in the community.
Well, there's a lot of deserving organizations. How do you determine who gets the funding?
Yeah, it's they work closely to really assess the needs that the community has. So it's they look and they study it pretty deeply and figure out, okay, what does, in our example, what does Bay County need? Where are the greatest needs? And they'll look and then determine, okay, is it in homelessness? Is it in food insecurity? Is it with childcare? And then they take those needs and then they break it down and go, okay, we can support X number of organizations, and here's the money raised, and here's what we can get out. What I love, Art, is for every dollar raised, 89% goes back to partners and goes direct to programming. And that could be things like the YMCA, where we're providing meals for children, before and after school, summer programming. It could mean, what they're doing at Good Samaritan Rescue Mission, making sure that families and children have places to stay if their families fall on hard times. So it's really well thought out and well done.
Yeah, and the board of directors and the community impact partners all get together and meet and review each application and really have great dialogue to ensure that there's not duplication, or how do we partner up different organizations. So they really act as a pipeline to support one another, and it's really great to see how that coordination works.
So let's talk for a moment about goals. It used to be pretty common that United Ways would set goals for their campaigns. Have you gotten away from that?
Heck no. You got to have a goal, Art. There's always a dollar amount in mind. So I'll tell you 2 things. So we set an ambitious goal. It's $750,000. We're, over halfway there right now, but still a lot of work to be done. And, I'll tell you, Megan and I, the reason that we really decided to work on this together was we really felt, Art, that it was time for our generation to step up. Now, I say our generation, it's kind of unkind to Megan because I'm a little bit older, but, kind of think of that 35 to 55-year-old group that for years, our community was led by great names, in our community that really led the charge. And we kind of looked at each other and said, you know what? It's our turn. We're up. We can't depend on the Horacks and the Rowleys and folks like the Wirts forever. Our generation has to step up and really take the mantle and take the leadership. So, Megan and I stepped up, and we give it a higher level than we have previously. And we're working hard to get others in our generation to understand that this is our community. It's our responsibility. It's time for all of us to stand up and take that mantle and understand that our time is now.
Yeah, and all of us in my generation, a little older than you, are appreciative of the fact that you are willing to step up. And I think one of the things that's happened, and I've said this a couple of times over the years, with the advent of the leadership programs from the various chambers and what have you, a lot more young people are getting involved these days. And I look at you, Matt, and call you young. Remember that.
I'll take it, Art. I'll take it.
But you know what I mean. There are a lot more people getting involved, which is good to see. All right. So the campaign runs through when, Megan?
December 31st is our goal to try to hit that 750,000 mark that Matt mentioned, although there's never a bad time to get involved.
Right. Well, thanks for being with us today, Megan. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having us, Art.
Matt, always a pleasure, my friend.
Great seeing you. Thanks, Art.
Talk to you again. Bye-bye now. Megan Savin and Matt Fallon, the Bay County United Way campaign underway. So by all means, look them up, make a donation if you can. We will be back to find out what's happening in the markets with Baird and Company. That'll come along after these notes.
The Windy City's own Chicago. Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The unmistakable sound of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's Chicago. Tickets start at $54 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com.
Saturday,
Chicago, Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me.
Horns and hits.
Does everybody really know what time it is? 25 or 6 to 4.
Chicago. Tickets are on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This is CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Do you want to be a hero for the holidays? How about getting your loved one a new iPhone? That's right. Pure Talk has iPhone 12 starting at just $479 through the end of the year. And sure, they have 13s too. Switch to Pure Talk. Great nationwide 5G coverage. Yes, the same coverage as the big guys, but the average family saves over $800 a year. Now that's just smart. There's no need to overpay for Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Plus, with Pure Talk's 30-day risk-free guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. And like I said, the iPhone 12, just $479. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill50, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Plus, save on a new phone. That's pound 250, say Jill50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless. Some restrictions apply. See site for details.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart, or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
All right, that'll do it for Focus today. We thank you for joining us. Time to move over to Baird and Company for our ticker tip of the day, and let's see if this works. Steve, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, too. So how are the...
I guess.
We're good. How are the markets doing?
We're good. The markets are good. They're just fine, too. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead by 485 points, putting it at 34,968, volume 310 million shares.